The feminist cult is here. Oh. I'm just kidding. I just thought it'd be funny to dress the scene. I have my unicorn sunglasses. I have these earrings that have unicorns on them. And I have this candle that I actually made myself that says, we should, wraps around, all be feminists. So I'm just gonna read this thing that I posted on Instagram. It was a screenshot and I found it really interesting and true, so I put a little picture of it on my story. And let's see, let me read it. It says, as a feminist, I think women should not be given a lighter sentence compared to a man who did the same crime. As a feminist, I think female abusers should be held at the same level as male abusers. As a feminist, I think male rape victims are just as equal as female rape victims and deserve the same attention. As a feminist, I believe in complete equality between genders, even if that equality isn't always beneficial to me. And yeah, I kind of just wanted to talk about that because I think there's this misconception of feminism that it's like women should be better than men, and I think that's a really toxic idea to be promoting because that's not the definition of feminism. And I remember a few years ago I actually tweeted like we should all be feminists, the same thing on that candle, and I actually surprisingly got a couple replies saying like no we shouldn't or something like that. And I think that there's a lot of people because of that this idea that feminism is like men are worse than women or whatever. Like I think it kind of creates this hate towards feminism, like feminism sucks, and rightfully so, because we shouldn't, like that's the whole thing. Like if people believe that you're holding women higher than men, then of course they're not going to support it, because I mean, I don't know, I feel like the majority of people support gender equality. And it's really simple, and I feel like I shouldn't have to even say it. But I also feel like a lot of people don't support feminism because there are so many extreme, like, I don't know, extreme ideas of it out there. And I wanted to actually read some of the responses I got because they were really positive and amazing. One person said, thank you for this. I feel like so many people assume feminism is about putting men down and trying to make them inferior, and it's not at all. Equality, and yeah, I totally agree with that. And then this guy responded and said, exactly, I was just talking about this yesterday. People seem to think feminism means that we need meninism and don't realize that feminism advocates for equality. Everyone should be a feminist. And then someone said, a lot of modern feminists have made a bad name for feminism as a whole. What people tend to not understand is every group of extremists every group has extremists, but not everyone in that belief system is extreme. And yeah, I totally agree with that. Like every single belief system, or the majority of them, will probably have extremists, but that doesn't mean that the actual belief system is extreme. And I believe that in the case of feminism, it's a very simple concept that I think the majority of people do agree with, but may not want to label themselves as a feminist because of I don't know, like the political idea behind it, or the stereotype it kind of has. And also in terms of freeing the nipple, I kind of just wanted to explain that because I feel like that is very taboo and definitely viewed as extreme. And even though it is definitely not a social norm, I don't necessarily view it as extreme. And for me, the logic lies within the fact that guys are able to and consistently show off their nipples. And I mean, a woman can show her entire breast pretty much and wear a really low V-cut, but as soon as she shows the nipple, it's wrong. And even on Instagram, it's like wrong. And I saw this really funny cartoon drawing thing the other day that actually said, if I Photoshop a guy nipple onto my nipple in a photo for Instagram, is it then okay, and is it not going to be taken down? And that's a really funny and interesting conversation, because what is the difference between a girl nipple and a guy nipple? And really, why are boobs so sexualized? Like, I mean, I get it, boobs are great. Like, I can look at boobs and be like, wow, good looking pair of boobs, go you. But really, it's meant to feed babies. There's nothing sexual about it. And it's ridiculous to me that in some states, I mean, I don't know, I think the majority of states, you can't like breastfeed in public or at a mall, or, I mean, that's weird, and I think also illegal in some states. And to me, that's ridiculous, because it's a very, like, there's a necessity for that, you know? And it's like, I saw another cartoon, I don't know why I'm thinking of all these cartoons, but there was another cartoon of this girl breastfeeding in the mall or something, and then these police come up and they're like, excuse me, ma'am, we can't have nudity in the mall, that is so inappropriate, this is a family setting. And then like in the billboard behind them, it's like a Victoria's Secret ad with these girls with their boobs out, and like, it's just funny to me, like the nipple, why the nipple? Like, it's a tiny thing. I mean, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me, and I think it is viewed as extreme because we're so socially conditioned into viewing boobs and nipples as sexual. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like if I were to see someone like breastfeeding in the mall, I would like look again and be like, okay. Or if I saw someone's boobs out, like it's definitely taken me a while to like decondition myself from the societal norm and recognize that if someone is feeding her child, and there's nothing sexual about that, and they should be able to do it wherever. But honestly, in terms of freeing the nipple, I think the best people to advocate for that are parents, because like me, I mean, yeah, I'm freeing the nipple now, but if I were to, and I do advocate for freeing the nipple, but I don't think it's taken as I don't know, seriously as, I mean, it should be, but I don't think that people take it as seriously as like breastfeeding parents, which really like makes a statement. If you're breastfeeding in public, that makes a huge statement. Like, there's nothing sexual about this. I'm feeding my child and I should be able to do it wherever. And just like the more we do it, and the more people just breastfeed their kid in public and are like, you know what? Fuck social norms, and I'm gonna do what I want because I wanna feed my kid right now and he's hungry or she's hungry, and I don't wanna have to go into another room to do it or hide, because it's a very natural and necessary thing I need to be doing. But I don't even know where I was going with this thought. Yeah, I just think that, oh yeah, I was gonna say, the more people that do it and just kind of break that norm, the less it's gonna be so taboo and weird, and the more people are gonna get used to it and be like, okay, I see it a lot. Like, you know, not saying that's gonna happen, I don't know if it will, but hopefully, like, fingers crossed, we'll lean to a direction that's more understanding and open to a really normal and necessary part of having a child, and something that shouldn't be sexualized at all. So anywhere that a guy can show his nipples, like obviously there are settings that guys can't show their nipples, like at a fancy dinner, and it would be just as weird for a girl to be doing that, you know what I mean? But in a setting where guys can be showing their nipples, I mean, I kind of have the belief that girls should be able to too if they are comfortable and want to do that. Like, but yeah, that's my belief on that. And I know that people may not agree as much with the freeing the nipple part, but I think feminism at its core is, it doesn't even necessarily have to include that. It's pretty simple, and it's that we should have equal rights. And the other day, it was actually like I was on a trip to Arizona in the van, and I got pulled over in the middle of nowhere, Texas, and this cop like clearly, I mean, a lot of things happened, but he clearly let me out of the ticket just because he thought I was cute or whatever. And I mean, of course I'm not gonna lie, like I'm happy that I got out of the ticket because I'd probably have to pay. I definitely would have to pay. But at the same time, it's like there should be laws where, like, that we can't have these biases. And like, in either way, like there are biases for women, there are biases against women, there are biases for men, there are biases against men, and as much as we can, we should make sure that the laws and rules try to create like an equal playing field where if a girl is speeding and a guy is speeding the same rate, like a girl shouldn't be let off just because she's a girl. And equally, like guys shouldn't be paid more for the same job just because he's a guy, you know? So it goes both ways, and I don't know, I feel like I shouldn't even have to talk about this. I feel like most people do understand this, but I do think there are some people that don't understand this, and some people that kind of view it as this crazy extreme thing, and some people can make it out to be that way. And yeah, so I just wanted to like share my logic on that basically, and why I think everyone should be a feminist, by definition a feminist, not like maybe what people think of as feminists. And yeah, I don't know, just why I think feminism is really logical, because there was a point, I think I was a junior in high school, when my guy friend was like, yeah, I'm a feminist, and I remember being like, oh, I'm not, because I thought it was like this crazy thing where like people are put on different levels and girls are put higher, and I didn't believe in that. But I just didn't understand the definition of feminism, and I was surrounded by people that didn't understand it, and so they were portraying it in a way that wasn't true to what the actual belief system is. So to my understanding, I feel like that's what the belief system is, and those are just my thoughts on it. And yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. If you have any anything to add or any comment down below whether you consider yourself a feminist or not, and maybe like why or why not, because I think that that's a interesting dialogue to start. But yeah, I'm gonna end this video here, and I'll see you guys in the next video, so bye!